Hey guys, welcome back to Startup Central. I'm sorry guys, I've been absent for a while. As you can remember from my last video, I was traveling in South America and I got bitten not by one mosquito, but by 100 mosquitoes or even more. It was really bad, and some of those mosquitoes carried some disease called dengue, and I was in bed for a long time. Now I'm back and now I'm ready to do more videos, and this is going to be a really exciting video because probably you have thought or even purchase a few meme coins, and I'm going to show you how not to get Rugpull because there is a lot of scams in meme coins, and the way to make 10x or 100x or even 1000x, first thing you need to know is which of these tokens are scams so you can avoid them, and then you need to figure out how to pick the winners. So in this video I'm going to try to do that. So without further ado, let's get started. So guys, are you interested in buying meme coins? Are you interested in putting in $10 and coming out on the other side with $1,000 probably, or probably putting in $1,000 and coming out with $1 million? These stories are not unheard of, but there's a lot more unspoken stories where people invested whatever amount and they came out on the other side with $0. So there are a number of scams, and in this video, the first thing we're going to be discussing is how these scams operate so you can avoid them. So the first kind of rug pull is draining liquidity. So what is a liquidity? Well, that is the money that the creator of a meme token or a meme coin has to put in that token so that it has some value. So when you create a token, it's not just about creating it, but it's putting some of your money into that token so it starts with a certain price. There are ways where the creators of meme coins, once there's a ton of people purchasing them, they can drain that liquidity, keep it for themselves, and everyone else is going to be holding tokens that are going to be worth $0. So that's one way, and I'm going to actually going to show you in the coming minutes how to see if a token that you like is potentially one of those rug pulls. The other thing that you want to avoid, and this is not so much on Solana, we're going to be focusing mainly on Solana, but I want to discuss another way that tokens rug pull, and this is kind of the worst of them. Because on EVM, so on Base, on Ethereum, on all those chains, smart contracts are allowed to be configured in a certain way where people can buy but cannot sell. So you would probably see people buying these tokens and the price going higher and higher and going to a 10x and then a 100x and maybe a 1000x. And then you decide now it's time to sell, I'm going to take profits, and then the smart contract will not allow you because that is how the smart contract is written. So those are called honeypots, and those exist mainly on EVM chains. As far as I know, those are not existing in Solana, and that's one of the reasons why in this video we're going to be focusing on Solana. Now, things could change, I might be wrong, but I have not heard about honeypots on Solana. They could exist, guys. Hackers and scammers are pretty nifty about their ways. But the thing we're going to be checking now is how to see if a certain token, what are the warning signs of scams. So to that extent, we're going to go to the browser and we're going to try to see how to figure this out. The first tool I want you to see is called DexScreener. Now, DexScreener is kind of a repository of tokens, and those could be all kinds of tokens, but here is where you first can find a new token. And I'm going to show you how to use the tool actually. It's not that hard. It looks daunting at the first glance, but it's really easy. So I am on the main page. And this repository of tokens can show you where the new tokens on different chains. So we can search for Solana over here, or actually just search. You know what? I'm actually going to type /Solana for the sake of making this briefer. And there we go. These are the Solana tokens. And you can see a lot of them. You can see what the current price is, how many transactions there are in this token, what's the volume in US dollars for each one of these tokens, how many makers, so how many people are placing bets on these tokens. And then on the 5-minute chart, 1 hour, 6 hour, and 24 hours, how the token is going. Then one important thing is the liquidity, because many of these have almost no liquidity. So it doesn't mean that they're scams, but it's preferable if you find tokens with better liquidity. Now, new tokens will have low liquidity, so don't expect to find new tokens with $1 million of liquidity. Then finally, we have the market cap. The market cap over here is how many dollars in total are invested in this particular token. So we can see a lot of tokens here. How do you figure out which are the new ones? Because normally the best opportunities, not always, and I'm going to show you an exception to that rule, but normally new tokens have the more potential to go to 1000x. So the first thing we want to do is click on last hour, let's say last hour. So we're going to see all the tokens that have been created in the last hour. Now I can actually sort a little bit more to see more information about the newest ones. You can, for example, click on trending. Now trending is not necessarily the best, but it will, you can filter a lot in DexScreener. So the first thing I do is I just check which ones are the newest ones. And then what I want to see is whether there's a serious team behind them. It will take you about 5 minutes to qualify or disqualify each token. So let's click on the first one. This is the newest one. I'm going to click on Milky Soul. First thing I see is that they have a picture over here, which means they paid DexScreener about $300 for this. Scams, there's a ton of tokens that are created every minute, and most of them, scammers that scam every 5 minutes or every hour or every 30 minutes will not pay $300 to do this. So if you see a token that has no picture, let's see if we can find one, it normally means that it's a scam. Now, from the moment of creation to the moment you can see the picture, it takes a creator around probably 10-15 minutes to get this here. So if it's a really, really new token, you probably will not see a picture. But if it's a token that has been up for around an hour and it doesn't have a picture, most probably it's going to be a scam. So next thing we want to see is if the liquidity has a padlock here. Now, if there is a padlock here, it means that the creator of this token cannot drain the liquidity by just recouping all the money that is in that token. So you want to see this padlock if you find another project. So let's see. Most tokens right now do have a padlock, but I've seen many that don't. Let's see. So, rule of thumb, no picture and no padlock, don't invest in that token because it's a scam. Now, there's one other thing that I want to show you, because there is a really handy website where you can kind of figure out whether this is a scam or not. And that website is called RugCheck.xyz. I'm going to place the link in the description of this video. And in here, you can actually paste the token address that you're looking at. So how do you find out what the token address is? Well, there's many ways you can find it, and you cannot see it here. But in the URL, the last part of the URL on DexScreener is the contract address. Sometimes you can just go to their socials and you will find out that. Now I'm going to go here to Popcoin, and on this website, normally Price will have a website. If they don't have a website, again, that's another warning. If they don't take the time to create at least a simple website like this one, it means that they are not doing whatever it's required to make a project successful. So they don't care about that because they probably will want to scam you. So why build a website and if they're going to be doing this every 30 minutes? So I'm going to click, normally all these websites have a contract address. So I'm going to click here and copy the contract address, and I'm going to paste it on RugChecker, and then click on check. And this will give me a number of parameters that I can try to figure out whether this is a scam or not. First thing, the summary is if it's good or very good, then probably you are on the safe side. Now, this is in addition to what we just spoke about. If the project has paid for advertisement on DexScreener, that's already kind of a good sign. If they have the liquidity logged, it's also a good sign. Now, what can you see here in this website that can tell you whether it's a scam or not? First thing is the top holders, if they hold, let's say 80% or more, sometimes I see 90%, that's probably a scam, because they can sell their tokens and then the price will go to zero. Now you want to see that top holders don't have more than 10%. And you cannot see all the holders here. You can go to Solscan to see that. And actually, let's do that. So we have the contract address. So let's go to Solscan. And I know it takes a little bit of time to check this, but guys, if you're betting some money, you better check that this is not a scam, because once you're a scam, you will lose whatever you put in here. So I'm gonna paste the contract address here. I can see the token here, Popcoin, and I'm gonna see the holders. Now, if there's 10 holders and they own 80% of the token, then that's a bad sign. So let's see how many holders there are of Popcoin, and there's 13 pages times 10 rows. That's 130 holders of this coin. So, I mean, this is fine. The top holder has 8%, then 5%, 2%. This is not a bad sign. But if you see 5 holders and they all have 10%, that's already 50% of the existing tokens being held by small group of people. And this could be a scammer having 5 wallets, 10% in each. That's already 50% in the hands of one single person. And you don't want that when you are looking to invest in a meme coin. What else you can see here? Well, there's a market cap. I mean, if it's a new token, that's okay. If it's an old token, I'm gonna talk about how to invest in tokens that have existed for more than 5 minutes, because it's a different strategy, and it could be a good yielding strategy. So they have this community sentiment, but mostly I want to see that top holders is not above 80%, and I want to see that the amount of holders of this token is large. I mean, I want to see, if it's a new coin, I want to see more than 10 people holding it, and those 10, I don't want them to hold 50%. So that's that, and we have seen the tools where we can see that. The other thing, a reminder, you want the liquidity logged. So let's check Popcoin here. And this token has existed for about a month, and there's a different strategy to this. As you can see, the price went down, it bounced. So there are technical things that you can, there's TA that you can do on a coin. So as you can see, the liquidity is locked. It means that this person cannot steal or drain the liquidity by exchanging the liquidity tokens. Now, the creator of a meme coin will, when they put money in the project, and this can be done with a different website, and in the coming video I'm going to show you, if you want to launch your own meme coin, I'm going to explain you how to do that. But this is not that video, but I want to show you, I want to explain that when you create a meme coin, you need to put some money in it, and you get some tokens in exchange for that. If you burn those tokens, you cannot recoup that, and then you will see the padlock. If you don't burn those tokens, doesn't matter what else the market does, you can exchange those liquidity tokens and get all the money and drain that. And you will see a number of price that the graph goes straight down after a little bit. So this is not the case. As you can see, the price is bouncing a little bit up and down. Now, as you can see here, you can click on different socials here, but there's a website. Now, it's really easy to create a Twitter account and a Telegram account. Creating a website takes a little bit more, so I want to see website preferably. Not necessarily, but preferably. As you can remember, in one of those other tokens like Chi-Chi, there is no website, so they only have the socials. However, guys, this has done 5,000% in 24 hours. And most meme coins, you will see this, they go all the way up and they start going down. Some will bounce. Now, there's a theory that there are 3 waves where the token will go up and down and up and down and up and then all the way down. And you want to invest if this is a token that has existed for more than 5 minutes. You want to invest in the second wave because the first wave will go up really fast, which is not the case with this token. So let me figure out another token to show you. Okay, I just found a really good example of what could be a scam. So you can see there's no liquidity lock here. So it means that the creator of this token can drain all the money that has been invested. How much has been invested so far? Almost $5 million. So all this guy needs to drain the liquidity is those tokens that he received in exchange. He cashes them out, and then you will see a straight line, a red line all the way to zero, a candle all the way to zero. And I would imagine this could happen in this token in the next 5 minutes because scams happen really quickly. So we'll come back to see if this happens. But do you see any ad? No ad here, guys. Do you see the socials? No social here, guys. Do you see the liquidity, the little padlock? No liquidity. So the other thing we can check is go to RugCheck and see what they have to say about this token. So I'm going to, again, paste the contract address over here, check, and it's probably going to give me a warning. It says invalid token mint. Sorry, my bad. The way to figure out the contract address is go down here. You will see the token name, and then you can just copy here the contract address, and then you can go here and paste that contract address. Click on check, and there's, as compared to Popcoin, this is all red. So I already gave you the warning signs, but if you see all of this, the freeze authority, so there's different parameters that you need to know. Freeze authorities, they mean that if they have burned the liquidity or not, they have not. There's a large amount of liquidity unlocked, same thing. High holder concentration, so there's one of the addresses with 10.95. Now, they won't show us the full thing, so we can go to Solscan and see, again, paste the contract address here. This is most probably a scam, and I would bet that the candle, we're going to see it go to zero. So apparently they have a large number of holders, but let's see. Okay, holders, there we go. Yeah, there's like 120 holders. I mean, that's not bad, but let's see this. That's 11, 16. There's probably 30% of the wallets here holding 30% of the tokens. But there's a lot of warning signs. The worst of them is that the liquidity is not locked. So 0% of the liquidity is locked. That means that they can trade those tokens and cash out. Now, if this is a 1 minute all token, this is normal because it takes the creator a few minutes to burn those tokens, probably some 5 minutes. So this is why I don't like buying tokens in the first 5 minutes. Now let's refresh this page. Maybe this changed. As you can see here, the liquidity is still unlocked. But let's refresh this page. Nothing didn't change. They still have no ad. So the scammer is probably, if this is a scam, I'm not betting. I'm betting that 90% chance it's the scam. Probably they're waiting to see if the graph will go up, still way up, or not. Right now, this scammer could just walk away with $5 million. And I'm not enticing you to do this, guys, because that's the bad thing to do. And if you get caught, then you'll go to jail. But those are warning signs. And this is not the advertisement for this token because on DexScreener you will see it above here. So let's see. What else? Let's find another token. Okay, another warning is that they didn't even bother with creating an icon for the token. So as you can see, all these ones below, they do have like an icon or a logo. This one does not. That's a warning sign, guys. They didn't put any effort. They just created a token, added the liquidity, and just waited for people to start buying. So let's talk about strategies, guys. First strategy is trying to buy at the bottom when the token has been newly created. If you are successful, this is the best way to 10x, 100x, or even 1000x. As you can see, in 1 hour, BOMO has done 76,000%. So whoever invested, even 86 now, whoever invested in this has made a lot of money. As you can see, this graph went all the way down, and then it went all the way up and then all the way down, as opposed to the other graphs. Why did this happen? Well, they drained the liquidity or they scammed the Rugpull. This is the typical graph of a Rugpull. They have a padlock here, however, so you would ask yourself, how did they do this if they didn't burn the liquidity? Well, they can print more of these tokens because they need to freeze the authority to print more, and RugChecker will tell you. So again, freeze authority is still enabled, so they can print more of those tokens. So imagine like the Fed in the US, they keep printing and printing and printing. The value of those dollars will go down as compared to assets, right? So that's why Bitcoin, it seems that the price of Bitcoin is going up, but it's more that the price of the dollar or fiat is going down. Same thing with Memecoins, guys. If you have 117 or whatever amount of tokens printed, and then you all of a sudden print 10 times more, then whoever printed more of those keeps 90% of those tokens and leaves 10% to the holders of those tokens before that extra printing. So that's another way that people can rug pull, and that's why you see this going all the way up and then all the way down. No logo here. You have a padlock, and look, guys, it's $155 million. Whoever created this just walked away with a ton of money. There's still some money there, and the way to see that is just click to market cap, and you can see how it went all the way up and now it's all the way down. I don't believe this is right. $116 billion. Maybe this graph is incorrect. I cannot believe a meme coin. It just was created a few hours ago. Went all the way to $115 billion. But if this happened, guys, this scammer will be looked by the FBI or whatever authority rules this, because that's a ton of money. So no logo here, no investment, no padlock, no investment. Go check on Rugpull. Check how many people are holding the top tokens. Here's one that did pay for the advertisement, but the liquidity is not locked. So that's a warning sign. Now, do you see this graph going up like in little increments? That's a bot buying. So that's another way of scammers to scam you. They use a bot to inflate the price, but then you see the bot selling, then start going up and they sell, start going up and they sell. People who don't know about this will think, wow, a lot of people are interested in this token. Now, you can do a good amount of money if you purchase here and if you beat the bots, if you were able to get some of these tokens at the earlier price. But eventually, this token will rug pull. How do I know the liquidity is not locked? So it has not been burned. And that is the worst offending crime because they can just steal the money. Where are the social guys? They just have a Telegram So even if they paid $300 for this ad, there's just a Telegram channel. So these guys are not intending on doing this on a long term. So in the next hour, if you're watching this 2 days after I publish this video, you can go back and check this token. It's called Kichi, and probably it's Kichi. No, it's Jake Dog. And actually, they're stealing a character that is copyrighted, so that's another warning sign. They didn't even place the effort on creating their own logo. So if you're watching this, go check this token. It's probably a Rugpull, but let's double check and let's go to copy this, go to RugChecker and click on the main site, paste this, and let's see, danger, Will Robinson. And so no LP locked, freeze authority still enabled, so they can print as many as they want. The top holder is just 22%, so that's not bad. It means that a lot of people have been buying this token. But the worst offender is this, guys. If you create a token and you don't burn your liquidity tokens, you're probably going to scam. Either you don't know what you're doing, or you're probably going to scam. But the other warning signs are here. The bots buying, no padlock here, no socials, just Telegram, and the RugChecker thing. You could always go here and see how many holders. I'm sure there's a ton of holders. So this would not be the case of that being a warning sign. So yeah, there's around 1,000 holders. So that's okay. No, my bad. Click on holders. There's around 400 holders. For a new token, it's not bad. It's not highly concentrated, so that's not a warning sign. But I would definitely not invest in this token. First, because the LP is not locked, and the freeze authority is still enabled, so they can, remember the last token we talked about, how they printed many more units of that token, and that's how they Rugpull. Well, you're going to see a nice or an infamous red candle going all the way down in the coming minutes. These guys are just waiting to see if this can go higher. Right now, they are at 1.2 million. Probably they could go all the way to, 1.5. Apparently, if you go to the 1 second, this is not kind of people are starting to think on selling. You can see that here. They might use a bot to keep buying, but if you are using a bot and the market cap is really high, it will be really expensive for them to keep inflating the price. So I don't expect this to look like this one, but that's and also a bad sign. So guys, we already explored how do you know if this is going to be a Rugpull. That's the first thing you need to do, avoid Rugpulls. Second thing, guys, buy. How do you buy as early as you can and try to make 1,000x? Well, let's go back to the browser. Again, guys, you need to go to the Solana, in case you're interested in investing in Solana, and sort by the last 5 minutes. This is one strategy. If you want to buy the newest token, then you want to find the newest token, right? So you can sort by transactions. The lower the transactions, the newer the token potentially. So perk, let's see. Dog we had. This is a copy of that token. Let's see if they even, well, they have a liquidity token. They're scamming people because they're trying to make them think this is the official that we had. It is not. But yeah, we're finding the newest one because we're looking for the 5 minutes. Now you can click on trending. If something is trending, it means that you're doing a good job in marketing. So let's check Flycat. Flying Cat. They don't have a website. That already is not a good sign, but they do have liquidity locked. So that's not bad. Now let's go ahead and copy this token address here, paste it on RugCheck. So we will see the liquidity is locked. Okay, this is already a good sign. I mean, they disabled the ability to print more. They have two markets, one in Radium and the other is, I don't remember the name of this one. So potentially, this is a good token to invest in. It existed for the last, let's see. $6.30 for the last few hours. But it's already going down. So this is one of those tokens where you want to invest in the second wave, which is the second strategy. So, but let's finish talking about the first strategy. So this other token has existed for 2 hours. Assuming everything else was correct with this one, I don't see more socials. And if this was still going all the way up, the idea is that you can copy the contract address or actually click on buy on Radium down here. So we're going to click trade on Radium. It's going to open, well, I don't want that. Let's go to an outer window, and it's going to directly send me to, it should send me to the pair, but it's not sending me to the pair. So let's see if inside here, Sol Ray. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to have to manually do this. So we're going to trade Sol 4, and then we need to enter the contract address. So let's type here. We're getting Flycat. It's going to tell us this is a new token. It's risky. As you can see, Flycat is, I think it's already Rugpulling. But assuming this is, the first run up, then you can just go ahead and trade here, and it's going to be quick. If you see a website, then you can, and it's my preferred way, you can click on the website, see if there's a reasonably good website, if they place some effort on doing it, and normally they have the contract address. These guys don't even have a Telegram account. So let's sort by age. And this is a new one. Let's check another one. Helicopter crash. Probably they already Rugpull. Yeah. Even if they had this Padlock. Well, I don't know. This is too new. They did place this advertisement. They have Twitter and Telegram. Well, if they have Telegram, it's much better than only Twitter. It's better if they do have a website. Another thing you can do is click on the Telegram and see how active that group is. Yeah, so it's a gauge, but this is a new one. So potentially this could go up. I would prefer if they have more information, if they do have a website, but you could take the risk on this one if you were in the first bar. So this is 5 minutes. Let's go to the 1 second. Yeah, as you can see, it already went up in the first second. So ideally you want to buy it here and wait until it goes up here, and then you would get so this has 4 zeros, that has 4 zeros. This might have been like a 5x, and then you can just move out of this. 5x is already good, guys. This is not the token that is going to 10 or 100x you. And that's the first strategy. Now, the second strategy, guys, is invest in the wave 2 or even a third wave. So for that, we're not going to be looking for the last 5 minutes. We're going to look for the last 24 hours. And I'm going to sort by age again. And let's see, some of this might be interesting. Let's see dollar. I mean, I see this has been going up. Let's see what they're doing. Okay, I don't like this chart at all. So let's say on the 15-minute, no. So this is not a chart I would invest in. Let's see milli. So they already went one way up, then down, one second way up, second wave up, and then down. This is one of those rare cases where the third wave is going up. They might be creating utility for the token. And then that's what's happening with Popcoin. They're working on a DApp, and that's how eventually that token is going to go up, but not at this moment. And I'm gonna look for another one. Okay, here's an example, guys. This was wave one. The wave one is normally really explosive, so you could buy. Let's switch to market cap. You could have bought when the market cap was 42,000, and it went all the way to 35,000. So that was like like a 7x, and then you would have sold here. Now that was first wave. It's risky. You don't know if the price is going to be burning the liquidity. Most of them at the first seconds of existence, they're not selling those liquidity tokens. So it's riskier, but there's usually a second wave. So as you can see, the token went down, and then you can do technical analysis to figure out how things are going. So it went down and then started going back up. So if you had invested, let's say here, you could see like a kind of a resistance at 145K market cap and sold here around 211K. Well, that's a 2x. It's not the best ever, but a 2x in 5 minutes is not bad, guys. And if you do this 2x, I mean, I'm going to tell you my strategy in a moment, but if you do a 2x every day, then you will multiply your money by a lot. Now, here's the third strategy, and this is the safest route. This is my strategy, and I always try to get, I mean, if you get a 10,000x, wow, that's amazing, but that's 1 in 1 million. So what are the odds of you making a 1000x? Tiny, minuscule. So you're probably not going to be doing that. And if you do, I congratulate you, but you are 1 in a million. What I do is I compound things. And this is the startup central strategy. Almost no one is doing this, but I think it's the safest route and it's the easiest route to make a 10x in Memecoins. Yeah, so I studied finance in a different life, and that's how I learned about this. It's a really easy concept. It's called compounding. You see that in regular investments in the traditional finance, but those yield 10% a year if you are in a country like Mexico, or 3% a year if you are in the US. So it's really, really hard to make a lot of money with those tiny rates or returns that banks offer you. So in Memecoin land, if you compound, you're going to get rich. So I know you like the sound of that. I'm going to show you how you can do that. And it's really easy. The concept is this. This is a really interesting strategy because it's not at all risky. So it is based on your ability to get a 20% return on meme coins. So let's say you start with 1 Sol and you get a 20% return on a meme coin that could 10x to 100x, but you sell at the 20% mark. So it doesn't matter if you're in the first wave or on the second wave, 20% on a meme coin. I mean, it could always go to 0, but if you already got rid of the warning risk and you do not invest in those scams, it's not that hard to make 20% on a meme coin. I mean, it's not always that, and sometimes it will go to 0. So you need to diversify. So don't place all your bets in one meme coin. But let's say you invest on meme coin 1, you get a 20% return. At the end, you are going to have 1.2 Sol. Then you move to the next meme coin. Doesn't matter if it is in the next hour or in the next day, until you find a good bet. And then you invest 1.2 Sol, which is what you had here. Wait until you get a 20% return, and you will end with 1.44 Sol. And you will say, well, that's a 40% return. I mean, that's not that much. But wait, guys, because this is compounding. Then you go to meme coin number 3. So you could do that the next day. You take your time, you find a good meme coin to invest, you get rid of all those warning signs that we discussed early in this video, and then you put the bet 1.44 Solana, and again, you yield 20%. At the end of the third day, you almost have double your initial investment. So it's 1.72. On day 4, or on hour 4, if you're doing this every hour, then you do the same thing. You sell at 20%, then you already have 2 Solana. And you do this if you go to iteration number 10, which could be if you do it this hourly, by hour 10 of investing, you already have 6 Solana. So that's a 6x, guys, in a few hours or a few days if you don't have the time to be looking for this. And this is way less risky, because if you hold your meme coin and try to get a 1000x and it goes all the way down, and this happens really quickly with meme coins, then you will lose all your money. But if you iterate, I mean, you could vary this. I mean, if you don't want to do a 20%, let's say you want to do 25%. And the higher you do, you wait for the returns, the riskier it gets. But let's say you do this with 25%. Let's see. At the end of 10 hours, you will have done almost a 10x, because you will have 9.31 Solana. And let's say you don't want to take any risk at all. So you're happy with 10% each time. So we'll just copy here and paste here. And of course, this is going to be a lot less. But in 10 iterations, you will have 2.5x with almost zero risks. Almost zero risk, as long as you discard all those really bad scams. So guys, one last thing. I already showed you how to 10x in a few days if you're investing, waiting for 20% returns instead of 10x return. The other thing I want to show you is how to figure out, because some of these tokens like Dogecoin, like Shiba, on the long run will go higher. So I've seen a number of tokens that started as meme coins, and then the team who is active are trying to do something else with that token. Sometimes is because they already cashed out and they have a lot of money and they want to see what to do with it. Sometimes it's because the token didn't go as high as they expected and they have the skills to do something else with that token. So I'm going to show you one of those projects. We already discussed it. I invested in this token initially, and I am holding because I like what they're doing. So the key for that is, of course, no, it's not this one. On one hand, check their website. Now, we discussed this before. If they don't even have a website, then they have placed almost no effort on trying to convince people that this is a serious project. So in the case of Popcoin, the first thing I noticed is that they have a roadmap, they have tokenomics. So I'm able to get more information about this project without having to go directly to RugCheck, which of course you should always do. So they tell you about the supply, they tell you that the liquidity is burned. You always need to confirm this. That's what Rugpull.xyz is for. They have revoked minting, so it means that they cannot print more tokens of this particular project. And they have zero tax, because I missed saying that. Some tokens will create a tax, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you get charged 10% tax for buying or selling into that token, then it's another form of extracting money from their users. If it's 1%, I mean, that's fine. There's a number of projects that do that, but anything above 1%, it's really bad. So, and then they have social. So I have all the information I need. They have a roadmap, and this is what I liked about Popcoin, the roadmap. They are working on partnering with an NFT project. I'm part of that NFT project because actually they modified that roadmap. And this is not investment advice, guys. I'm not telling you to invest in Popcoin. I'm just telling you how to figure out if a token that has existed for a while could go up, and whether if it's on a low price, potentially, guys, because it's all meme coins and these are the riskiest part of crypto. You need to know if the team will execute on this, and then you can follow along if they have a roadmap, and you can check on their socials or contact them either on Telegram or on Twitter and see whether there's a team still active. So you want to do that if you want to see whether this is a longer term project. I think that's mostly what I wanted to explain, guys. Again, meme coins are risky. Some meme coins are the riskiest. That means that if they have done things properly for them, they will surely rug pull you and you will lose your money. So first things first, check if they're not a rug pull. We already discussed how. Second, check if there is some formality to this project. So if they paid for the advertisement, that's a good sign. If they have all the socials in DexScreener, including their website, if there is a website, then that's already a good sign. And then check those charts, decide whether you want to be one of those three strategies. Invest at a zero, a token generation event, then try to snatch as fast as you can those tokens, always making sure there are not scams. Strategy 2 is invest on the second wave up. It doesn't usually happen, it doesn't always happen, but it usually does. And strategy number 3, try to get 20% or 15% or whatever you feel comfortable and compound. When you do that, diversify. Don't put all your money into one meme coin, because if that one goes to zero for whatever reason, then you'll lose all your money. So divide. If you have one Sol to invest, divide that in 10 chunks and invest in different meme coins at different moments. If you have 10 Sol to invest, then just assign 1 Sol per each investment and you will be on the safer side. I hope this video was useful. If it was, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Startup Central, because we keep talking about how to invest in crypto, how to make money, and in general, how to make your money grow. See you in the next video. Bye-bye now.